Sometimes, no matter how hard you plan things, they're gonna turn out wrong. But then, when you least expect it, they turn out better than you could ever imagine. Welcome to Indianapolis, the trip that almost didn't happen, but I'm so glad it did. So, I kinda fucked up. I booked the hotel and the airport 600 miles apart. So, unfortunately, we couldn't cancel the hotel, which means we are going to a brand new hotel in the area that I got because, surprisingly, that was cheaper than getting a rental car because apparently rental cars before the age of 25 are super expensive. So, instead of the Indianapolis trip that I had planned, we are going to St. Louis, Missouri, and we found that out 30 minutes before we have to leave. But we did pack, and I did try to call to cancel the other hotel. They did not let me, so honestly, I'm just considering it a sunk cost. I paid the stupid tax. Honestly, it really is about making lemons out of lemonade. That's the best thing that I can say right now. We finally got to Knoxville at almost 3 a.m. I was so exhausted, and I knew that I had to wake up in just 2 hours. Honestly, I was considering just pulling an all-nighter, but I knew it would be better if I just slept. I knew since the main road was closed for the hurricane that it would take a while. And since we did have so many things that did change over the period of the hours last night, I knew it was going to be late, but we got in about 2:30. Now 5:30. And our flight is at 9, so we have to keep it moving because obviously we're not going to drive from our house to Knoxville in the morning. That would be insane. To be fair though, this trip kind of did feel insane at this point because I had no idea what was happening and I was running on like 2 hours of sleep at most. So we touched down in Bellevue, which is close to St. Louis, and entered the most liminal airport I think I've ever seen. No, really, when I say liminal, this place was empty. Here, I'll just show you what I mean. So, we are actually going with our original plan after all. Thankfully, I did not cancel the hotel reservation. It is a beautiful hotel. We are actually going to be doing the drive about almost 4 hours and then back to the airport on time, but we're going to Indianapolis, and I am so excited because there's really not much for me to eat here with my allergies, and that was not going to be fun. That wasn't going to be fun at all. The sky looks really beautiful today, but we are waiting on a rental car, so I'm gonna go back inside and hopefully it's here within the next hour or two. So after a 3-hour wait for our rental car, as well as stopping at the only place I could eat in that city, which was Target, we went on the 4-hour long ride to Indianapolis. The sunset was absolutely beautiful, even through the car with the cracked windshield that they gave us. But this Midwest sunset, I don't know if it was because it was so flat out here, but it was just so beautiful. And it lasted a really long time too. It might actually be snowing right now.
It might turn into snow.
We were welcomed into Indy with some slushy type of snow, which was nice, although it was really scary with the windshield. We decided, since it was so late, we were going to be real city people and do some takeaway. This little Indian place that, let's be real here, I did research about a month in advance, was delicious, and I definitely loved just having a cozy night in at our hotel. And more importantly than that, I loved getting to get more than 2 hours of sleep. What's your favorite part about Indianapolis? Indianapolis so far?
Seattle's best coffee.
Yeah, that's not even Indianapolis. Earlier in the day, we just decided to walk around and take in as much of the city as possible. It was absolutely gorgeous. And of course, you always have to make some room for play. Yeah. They do recycling once. While the recycling options were few and far between, just like in Cincy, there was a lot more that made up for it. The city was so walkable. I don't know why it kind of looks like it's old horror movie footage, but this was the library and it had a bunch of really cool sculptures on the outside. But even cooler was the inside. This library had 5 floors of books, private reading rooms, and so many resources. If you couldn't find something in here that you wanted to read, well, maybe you just don't like to read, because they had everything. On the top floor, they also had a private collection with a lot of really old stuff. And of course, what library isn't complete without at least 3 Raggedy Ann dolls? So after seeing one of possibly the best and largest libraries I'd seen in my entire life, we decided to go get a good look at the tower because we heard that it was going to be all lit up and beautiful. And that was one of the things I was looking most forward to in this entire trip. We wanted to make sure that we got there before dark, just so we wouldn't have to walk this long in the dark. And although we did get a rental car for the beginning of the trip and the end of the trip, the days that we were there, we really didn't use a car much. We used mostly public transportation and our feet. It's gonna be lit up so soon. While we waited, we decided to get dinner across town, and I really gotta hand it to Indy. They're an incredibly walkable and commutable city by bus, bike, or just walking. Although it was dark out, it was super easy to find this place. I tried checking online to see if this place required a reservation. I couldn't find anything on that, and unfortunately they did require one. But we still were able to be sat anyway.
Hello. How are you?
From the menu to the very sweet staff and the amazing food, as well as the decorations. Everything about this place was perfect. After dinner, we walked all the way back to the fountain, and to our surprise, they weren't going to actually light up the fountain until after Black Friday, but it was still gorgeous with the lights that it already had. Thank you so much.
Guys, enjoy.
Have a good night. Nice. Some nice people were promoting their rideshare app and gave us some gift cards for having us listen to them. Overall, this city has been amazing, and I can't wait to see what tomorrow has in store for us. We had to go to the airport, the bigger Indianapolis airport, to pick up our rental car that we would need to go home tomorrow. This airport was definitely not liminal and very cool.
It is cool.
After that, we went to Newfields, which used to be the Indianapolis Museum of Art and also used to be free for everybody. They had some very nice exhibits, and I was enjoying walking through everything. While walking through, I had this weird suspicion that I was being watched, and I kind of just brushed it off the whole time. We got to make these cool portraits, and we walked through more of the classical exhibits, but this is actually where everything started to go south.
Cute.
Because I figured, it would have been off color.
That's really cute.
I noticed from above the terrace, multiple employees were watching me, and one came down multiple times. And let's just say the experience was less than pleasant. From being called dense to being told that if my photos I took ended up looking too good, I would have to pay a heavy fine. And having my bag karate chopped by an employee, the experience was extremely uncomfortable. That's why, even though this museum has a lot of really good things about it, I can't recommend it just for the sour taste it left in my mouth. And after all that sourness, I wanted to replace it with something better. Something Ethiopian. So we went to Major, where let me tell you, it was majorly delicious. This restaurant could have everything you've ever wanted. A large vegan selection, very reasonable about accommodating allergies, some music with somebody's baby son laughing in it, and of course, wonderful, delicious, hot Ethiopian coffee.
Yes, I do.
That's really nice. Yeah, they brought out extra stuff. Yeah, this and that.
Oh, really?
They got potatoes and stuff and collard greens as well.
That's actually
Yeah. It's really good.
And no night would be complete without something sweet. So we headed to the city of Carmel for their Christmas market. It was themed like a little Germany, and they had bands, a bunch of really unique and small markets, as well as ice skating. We didn't do the ice skating because, again, we had to drive 4 hours back to St. Louis very early the next day. But we still had a lot of fun looking at all of the market stuff, listening to the music, and smelling all of the delicious food. This was such a wonderful trip, and I am so glad that I got to bring all of you guys along with me. Thank you for spending such a chaotic 48 hours with me, and as always, I hope you have a day just as beautiful as you are. All right, happy holidays.